Hey everybody, good morning. Hope everybody's doing all right. Now the duck season has come to an end, and I wanted to hop on just for a minute or so to talk a little bit about that. I've had several people reach out to me and they said, "Hey, what did you think overall of this duck season that we just wrapped up here?" And here in Louisiana, to be honest with y'all, my answer is really I'm not. It was nothing out of the ordinary. I guess what I expected for this year. As duck hunters, I find that we're all optimistic. You're always optimistic. You want to be optimistic going into the season, and we always hoping for the best. But in reality, guys, if I had to sum up this season, as far as the way it went down, at least for here in Louisiana, for the most part, for hunters that I know personally, places that we visited throughout the year or throughout the season, really it was a down year for the most part for the majority of hunters, is what I would say, which is no surprise, I think, to a lot of you out there. I think a lot of you would say that it was kind of right on par with what you expected, probably, based off of what we saw in the migration this season. Am I surprised by the way it went down? No, I'm not. I know some guys, out there had excellent seasons, but for the most part, it was really kind of like a feast or famine situation. You were either, killing birds somewhat consistently throughout the season, or, it was really a rough year, and a lot of you guys are probably down as far as the amount of birds that you were able to harvest this year. So when you have a situation like that, a lot of people are disappointed. A lot of people are looking to point the finger. They're always looking. That's just another thing that comes along with this sport. When you have down years, you don't have a good season, you don't kill as many ducks, you're going to look for places to point the finger and, put the blame on. So, I've heard guys kind of talk to me about it, and they say, well, it's such and such that's causing it, and then you'll talk to somebody else and they'll say, well, it's this that's causing it, and it's BS what's going on here. And in reality, guys, it's just changed. It's changed overall. The migration patterns have changed. Our weather patterns have changed a lot. I think weather's definitely playing a big part in it, as far as my opinion on it. But no matter what it is that's causing it, there's probably going to be some changes that are going to be made in the next, couple of years. I think with the federal regulations, also your state regulations, you're going to see some big changes that probably take place just because, population numbers have been down in several species, and overall, just not as many ducks from what they're telling us. So when that happens, guys, changes have to occur. It's not going to be something that's going to be popular with everybody, but it's something that probably needs to be done. Whether it's going to be a shorter season, which is something that's out there that people are talking about being a possibility, or, your bag limits going down, maybe cutting the bag limits down. That's something that is also a possibility that is, on the table out there. That's being whispered out there as far as new regulations maybe taking place. So whether you're for that or you're against it, I know a lot of people, including myself, you typically don't want more government involved in, anything more than what they need to be. You don't want more regulations. You don't want more rules. But, at some point, we probably have to have something happen, guys. If we're going to continue to have this sport for future generations, we're going to have to do something as a group of hunters to come together and, make sure that there is something for the future generations. What that answer is, I'm not the person that's in charge of it. I have my opinions on that. But there are going to have to be people that make those calls and are going to decide on that. And we're all just going to have to live by it, as waterfowl hunters. We're not going to have, once those regulations are set in place, we're not going to have too much to say about it at that point. So what I would tell you guys is, if you want to have your voice heard, you need to let your local state agencies know what your thoughts are, and what your opinions are. If you get, a survey, a lot of times, I know here in Louisiana, they'll send out surveys at the end of the season. you get a survey or something like that, instead of tossing it in the trash, throwing it away, you definitely, in my opinion, if you want to have your voice heard, that's a great time to do it, for stuff like that, to get your voice out there. Make it known what you think, what you want to do, without making it a shit show, I guess you could say. But yeah, my thoughts on the season, just to, clarify once again, really not surprised. It was a down year for us. It was a down year for a lot of hunters, but that wasn't the case for everybody. Some of you guys had some of the, best seasons of your life probably. And that just, you just happened to be in an area that was holding birds throughout the season. And that's going to happen. Not everybody's going to have a rough year. Not everybody's going to have a great year. It's just the way it goes. But overall, really not surprised. It's a down year this year. Really never got a big migration push this year down south. I know for us here in Louisiana, that was the case. You other guys in the southern states probably feel the same. But overall, down year, disappointment a little bit. But at the same time, still have made lots of great memories this year with friends, new friends that we got the opportunity to hunt with. Also with our kids, bringing them out there. Had a couple of memorable hunts this season, and I'm grateful for that. So overall, you always have some great memories, that come out of a season, even when it's a down year. So all we can do is now wait till next season, look forward to a new duck season. And once again, it starts getting close, we'll be getting optimistic, we'll be getting fired up. And that's what makes this sport fun, guys. So until next time, that's my take on it, but we'll talk to y'all again soon, guys. Y'all take care.